Hello everyone, this is Pat with Angel Divination with our weekend oracle card reading for Saturday the 4th and Sunday the 5th of February 2012. And it's the weekend, so of course we are going to hear from the fairies, the magical messages from the fairies, as well as the Earth Magic Oracle card deck. And for this month, the rest of this month of February, I just got, of course, the new deck of romance, the deck of oracle cards from the Romance Angels that Doreen just came out with. So every day this month, for whatever card decks I choose from for the day, I'm also going to include a romance card because it's February. It is the month of relationships and romance. So we are going to see what those cards have to say. All right. So let's start with the fairies since it's Saturday and it's fairy day. Now the messages that came out today from the fairy deck were connect with nature and spring. So we got two cards from the fairies that spelled out. And it says, you're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. So as we look at this card, okay, and as I tune into it, it's an indication in some way that, perhaps it's just been a week where you've spent too much time indoors. Maybe you've been and working in an office all week or in a studio, or there's a lot of us out there who work from home. And if you're in a place where the weather just isn't conducive to getting outside a lot because either it's too cold or too snowy and icy or the weather's just been bad, hopefully today, it brings a better weather day for you in that regard. But in some way, it's obviously the fairies are urging us to get outside and connect with nature. And as I see the fairy in that picture she's sitting on a tree limb. And to me, it indicates that there may be something in your life that you're on the fence about. I call it being on the fence, but whoops, my cards don't want to stay up here. Sometimes that happens. Technical difficulties. So in this picture, she's sitting on a limb, and it might be that perhaps you feel out on a limb, or like I said, you're on the fence about something, and you need to get outside and to free up your mind and your thoughts, and to really be able to sit with how you feel about it. So in some way, that connection with nature, whether it's putting your feet flat, right, your bare feet right on the earth, or connecting with some element of nature, the plants, an animal of some kind. It's important for you today in helping you to get more clear and focused about what you're going to do. And the other card that came out with it was spring, and it said, your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. So this is truly an indication that something that you've been working on manifesting is going to come to fruition in the spring, whatever your spring is. Because I know people from both sides of the world see this, and in the southern hemisphere, they're kind of heading into their summer now. They're probably past their spring, but anyway, so it says your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. So for those of us in the northern hemisphere, it indicates that that's actually not that far away for us, and it will reach its full expression then. You're doing the steps now that you need to, and so it's a card of hope and outcome. To keep the faith, and trust that what you're doing is working for you. Now, what's interesting is the Earth Magic Oracle card deck has a similar message to the fairies connect with nature. And this card is communion. And it is truly another message about getting out and communing with nature, with some aspect of the natural world. In this particular photo, he's sort of communing with the eagle. But it could be a plant. It could be something out there. It could be a pet, where you're out in nature and communing with something that's in the natural world. It's a very grounding thing to do. When we get stuck inside a lot and, trying to manage and oversee our lives and keep things organized and keep track of kids and houses and job related stuff and networking and all that stuff, um, we can, we end up a lot of times too much in our head. And by getting outside in nature and communing with nature, it gets us back down into our heart, which is where the most important message is. That's where that still small voice resides, is in our heart. And it's an area that we really want to stay connected to because it reveals to us not just the truth about things, but important messages for us. Okay, so it does a little bit of both. It shows us the truth about situations. It shows us the truth of our feelings. It's a place to get in touch with our truth and where important messages for us bubble up and come to our awareness. And so it's about sitting in silence, out in nature and, maybe just paying attention to the sounds and a flower blossom, like this in this picture of the spring, the flower blossom and the fairy in it and the butterfly. The flower blossom itself is very enlarged, and if you've ever looked at a flower blossom up close and sort of so it's enlarged in your physical vision, it's very beautiful, and you notice a lot more intricate details of it than what you normally would if you just went brushing past it or going by it very quickly. So it has to do with slowing down and paying attention, because there's a lot more that you will see if you do that. Now, as for the romance cards, let's see. I'm going to do a real random pick here and see what the romance angels, who are all about fun and play, want to say to us today. So, interesting, because this has been a message that's been around a lot. And the message is to trust. It says this situation is calling for you to have faith. All right? Trust that this time that you take to get outside and have that time to yourself, that quiet time to really get in touch with your feelings and where you're at, is going to be very beneficial for you. And it's going to reveal a lot to you, maybe allow some things to bubble up to the surface for you that you not were previously unaware, but just maybe brings greater clarification for you. So and I think, just on a purely superficial level, I've been speaking in sort of deeper terms about, connecting with that self. It's, it's just a stress reliever that some of you are going to need this weekend. I feel like a lot of people are maybe going to get out and, if depending on the area you're in, maybe go skiing. You're going to be getting out to do something outside as a way of lifting your energies and enjoying the outdoors. There's a lot of people who just enjoy the outdoors just for the sake of being outside, and that certainly is indicated in it may be to get outside and enjoy a sport that you enjoy doing, maybe bicycling or skiing or ice skating or something along those lines, and that getting out in the fresh air is going to be very important and a big stress reliever, big way to dissipate some stress that's been going on in your life. And because to do that, to go out and enjoy something outdoors, is the equivalent of just kind of like walking away from it and putting it aside for a while, which sometimes is really important to do if you've had something that you've been struggling with and can't come to a decision about or can't find a solution to. You just need to walk away and get outside in the fresh air, sunshine, or whatever it is, and engage in something and forget about it for a while. So it provides a great deal of stress relief, and that allows new creative ideas and solutions to come in. So that is our reading for today. And, trust that you'll get the answers that you need. I think that is what that, it's a romance card. So it certainly is speaking to, you know, trusting that you're safe and protected. Trust that the romance angels are looking out for you in terms of, your relationship issues and romantic relationships. It's also indicative that, maybe a person that you've just met is someone you can trust in a new romantic relationship. Or to, if there's one that you're already in, trust that everything's going to work out okay. All right. So, or trust the messages that you're getting about the relationship. So it has a few different facets there. All right. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I look forward to speaking with you on a Monday. Take care, everyone.